We're here in the Aviva Stadium. It's pretty quiet at the moment, but on August the 27th, 2022, this place will be rocking to the sound and the cheers of the Northeastern Wildcats and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. The Aer Lingus College Football Classic is coming back. It's going to be here in 2022, and we're here today to talk to the team behind it and to some of the sponsors that have been a big part in making sure that the series has got a big future here in Dublin. American football, the Aer Lingus College Football Classic, is coming back to Dublin. It's coming here to the Aviva Stadium, and we're here today to talk to the team behind it and to a couple of the sponsors that have been a key part in making sure that the series survived a year that we could never have forecast. I'm joined by Brendan Meehan, the commercial director of the College Football Classic. Brendan, how difficult has it been? This was going to be a 5-year series. I was here, the excitement of building it up and preparing for the first one, which is going to be in 2020, and now we've lost 2. How much of a blow has that been to morale and to the impetus behind the series?
Well, Rob, it certainly has been difficult. Now, these things are all relative compared to what some people went through over the last year. It has been difficult. It's been difficult for us as a team, but also for the country, for the tourism and hospitality industries. The cancellation of the 2020 game was worth in or around 150 million to the Irish economy, and then the cancellation of the 21 game, a hit of around 70 million. So it has been difficult, but we have never stopped trying. We have remained in contact with the schools in the US. Our team in the US are working extremely hard with these schools, and we're delighted today to announce the 22 game between Northwestern and between Nebraska. Our model has changed post-COVID. These games are far more difficult to bring to Ireland. There is enhanced competition within the schools' communities, so you know the stadiums, the towns where these stadiums are played, they want to keep the schools, these games local. There is also increased competition in the US from cities like Houston and Dallas who want to put on neutral site games to bring 2 schools to play on a neutral site, and there's also increased competition from cities within Europe who are trying to bring these games. But I think we've proven, the Aer Lingus College Football Classic has proven to be a very successful and proactive public-private collaboration. Without the support of our title sponsor, Aer Lingus, without the support of the Department of the Taoiseach and the major events division within the Department of Tourism, Culture, Arts, Gaeltacht, Sports and Media, and through the government agencies like Tourism Ireland, Fáilte Ireland and Dublin City Council, this would not be possible. We're on record as saying that these games do not work from a business perspective on ticket sales alone. It is, as a steering committee, it is our ambition that Dublin and Ireland are the headquarters of US college football. We're embarking now on a 5-game series, but we hope that the first game of every college football from forevermore amen will be played in Ireland. And without the support of the likes of Grant Thornton and Mick and his team, and Eversheds Sutherland and Glenn Dimplex and the likes of the Abbey Group, this just would not be possible.
Games attract 120,000 people for every home game to them, so it's a big step to take to come to Ireland. What was the genesis of Northwestern? Because we did have Notre Dame, and there's a very storied tradition of Ireland and the university, but what's the connection to Northwestern?
Well, it's funny, we went and we met Northwestern a number of years ago, and I suppose the conversation picked up more recently between the Naughton family of Glenn Dimplex and Mr. Pat Ryan. So Mr. Ryan is the founder of Aon Insurance. His father was an Irish American, and he is one of the people who was most synonymous with Northwestern University. The stadium is called Ryan Field, where they play their home games, and his name is also on the volleyball and the basketball arena over there. So Mr. Naughton and Mr. Ryan came together a number of months ago and decided to pick up those conversations again, and thankfully we were able to deliver it and get it over the line, and we're really excited about it.
It is a huge event for Dublin and for the country as a whole. When the 21 event was cancelled, I remember we spoke about 105,000 bed nights having to be let go because that's the number of people that are coming over and spending time here. From your point of view, Mick McAteer from Grant Thornton, you've got a stake in Ireland having a rude and healthy economy. How important is it to Ireland to have events of this magnitude, given the spotlight that comes onto them from places like Chicago and across the US?
Huge. I mean, I suppose the starting point has got to be the relationship, I think, on a business front between Ireland and the US. I think the relationship has never been stronger and is going from strength to strength. Some of that, I think, is a post-Brexit environment as well, where I think US corporations are seeing Ireland as the natural home from a European perspective, where maybe previously that would have been naturally going more to a UK direction. So I think, first of all, the US-Ireland trade flows are just getting stronger and stronger year on year. And I think also what's more important, and it's one of the things we always say, it's more than a game. It's more than just a game, it's the cultural part, it's the fun part, it's the business part. And to me, this event actually is one of the few events around in any kind of a capacity that actually combines business with fun. And that's quite unique, where I think business relationships come out of actually having a personal relationship. And what better way than if US people are traveling here, they're not traveling here for a one-night stay, they will be tending to spend 3 to 7 nights. They'll get to know the country, they'll get to know relationships that they may have here from a business thing, and that connection will grow and then lead to further business, hopefully, between our two countries.
And is that part of the reason for you being involved? You've been involved in the series now for a number of years. You were in the round room the last time we were here for the CEO forum, and I honestly don't think that I've been in a room that had as much wealth and power concentrated in it. It's a spectacular way of forging relationships that can come through. From a client perspective then, is that important that you want to bring the people who want to do business with Grant Thornton into that kind of environment?
Absolutely. And I think, again, as I've been on the journey, or we've been on the journey in relation to understanding college football, the closest analogy I can see is it's very much akin to in the GAA world, our country colours, where in the college football, you go to college, you never leave that college. Your alumni connection with the college goes on forever and a day, and people who have left the college 20 and 30 years will continue to support that home team, that one team. They don't move, even though they might move states or moved into even different countries, they'll always have their the college they belong to, the team they supported. And I think that passion that they bring when they travel and the connections that they have is a great opportunity for us to meet people in a very nice, warm environment, and then let the business actually just naturally flow from that.
Yeah, and it does. Ryan from Eversheds Sutherland Solicitors, you're first timers in the partnership now. What is it from your perspective as a professional services, a legal company that's doing business in and around Dublin as well as across Europe and America? How important to you is being involved in an event like this?
Yeah, Rob, again, we're excited to be involved. I think it's, again, as the guy said, it's about relationships. We'd act for a number of clients who are doing business from the US, using Ireland perhaps as a launchpad into Europe. We've offices in the US and throughout Europe. So again, it's really about that pollination of relationships. Ireland and the US have had a very special and close relationship for a long time now. I think we benefit from that relationship in terms of opportunities to have clients and have companies come to Ireland to see what we have to offer. I think in recent years there's probably been a slower flow of immigrants to Ireland, as our own economy, to the US as the Irish economy has developed. So I think these kinds of events are a chance to kind of renew and refocus our relationship with the US, and maybe with people who maybe haven't been to Ireland before, to experience what we have to offer. And I think by coming here, they see a fresh, vibrant, multicultural city, and maybe have a different perspective on Ireland. And I think that then helps when they go back to their desks, and have decisions to make. Ireland's then on the radar, and at least we're in the game, so to speak, in terms of having those opportunities to attract investment here, which is obviously key to our economy. As a service provider, then we would, I suppose, see a role for ourselves in that. But it's very much a kind of a linchpin of sport, education, and business working together to put Ireland on the map. And then if we're there and we're on the map, we've then a chance to attract opportunities here for all of our benefit. benefit.
To some from outside of the US, they might not appreciate just how important college football actually is. You look at Tom Brady and the NFL and the New England Patriots, and that is massive, but the college football is the one that really gets the heartstrings going. It's all about youth because these are young players. These are the ones that are going into the draft and coming out, some of them to be the stars of the NFL in the future. But it's also so firmly rooted in tradition. You've got that wonderful trophy there between you, the Keogh Naughton trophy, which is again imbued with Don Keogh and Martin Naughton, two kind of business titans that really sort of brought this to life. That mix of youth looking forward and tradition looking back, is that really an important mix in this as well for you, Mick?
I think so, and I think you know the academic side of the house as well is that youth and that again relationships that can be then build foundations where businesses can grow from the academia and the contacts that are made there. And I think it's also you know again when you get into the different universities and you actually understand the history of Northwestern and the connection with Aon and Pat Ryan in Ireland. Even just bringing that to the fore, you know, creates that kind of, I suppose, nostalgia and interest for young people on both sides of the Atlantic. That will probably see transition of students back and forth as the university moves into town as part of the game structure. It's not just for the weekend. You know, the links and the amount of engagement that happens and seminars that occur and the visiting academia will meet and have and build on future. I suppose transfer of knowledge between two universities or three universities between Ireland and the US, that foundation can only grow into future business links. So I think all of the right foundational things happen when events like this occur.
And coming back to you, Brendan, the you know, Aer Lingus have been involved from the get-go with this, and they've stuck with it. They've stuck with the series. They're title sponsors above the door. What other opportunities are there for people to get involved? Because we've got Grant Thornton, Eversheds Sutherland's here, Aer Lingus on the top tier as well. What other opportunities are there for brands to get partners?
Yeah, Rob, there are a number of opportunities. You know, we see a real opportunity here at strengthening the existing ties, but also developing and forging new ties between Ireland and the US. Mick mentioned earlier the Ireland-US CEO Club, which will be a series of events that will evolve over the course of the year, culminating in two very prestigious and unique events during game week with the Ireland-US CEO Club lunch on the Friday beforehand and the President's tailgate here in the Aviva Stadium on the day of the game. And that is where there is an opportunity for Ireland Inc. to host the travelling CEOs, dignitaries, politicians from the States and from these universities. We're also looking for like-minded individuals or companies who might be looking to grow their brand or scale their brand in the US, or indeed Irish or American companies that have a presence here in Ireland. And even the more established companies, the Irish companies that have large presence over there. We will travel out as a group on the 2nd of October for the reverse fixture this year in Nebraska. And Nebraska is a state that Ireland probably hasn't visited enough. We're hoping that the ambassador will come with us, and we will also on the way back visit Chicago and visit Northwestern, you know, to kind of cement those ties, but also to look to forge new ones.
And there is a strong political connection into it as well. We've had Enda Kenny, Leo Varadkar, this morning Micheál Martin talking about the importance of this as an event. There's not many sports events that get that level of buy-in and input. Is that an important calling card, I guess, for the series as well? Absolutely,
it is, and again, it couldn't be done without them. You know, so that we've had huge support from as I said, the Department of the Taoiseach and Minister Martin and Minister Chambers' department in tourism, culture, arts, Gaeltacht, sports and media, but also in the Department of Foreign Affairs and the Department of Education. They're all on board, they are all partners, and without the likes of Fáilte Ireland, Tourism Ireland and Dublin City Council, this is not possible. So we are very appreciative for their continued support and commitment to the series.
Looking out behind us, Ger, Mick, it's 14 months away until this place is absolutely heaving with supporters. What are the plans that you're going to put in place now over the next 12 months in order to actually sort of make sure that you make the most of it?
Yeah, I think I mean it's an exciting week, and I think the events are, you know, I've seen the itinerary for the week. There's, you know, tailgates, there's parades, So again, it's linking in with some of our colleagues in the US, and hopefully we've an office in Chicago. Some of them may travel over. They will probably hopefully bring some their own clients and contacts, and then throughout the US we would have relationships with other individuals. So it's about renewing and refreshing that relationship all the time. I think this is a great opportunity to do that, and it's obviously a unique event. It's a special event to have college football in Dublin. It's exciting. There's a whole razzmatazz around college football that is probably unusual when you look at sports on this side of the Atlantic. So it's really about connecting with people and using the event itself as maybe a launch pad for future relationships, and where there are existing relationships to refresh those relationships.
And Mick, you've been here before. How excited are you?
I'm very excited. I do have a slight problem in the sense that we have 600 partners and 20,000 staff in the US. So they all know who I am at this stage, because they know tickets come available for college football as we move from college to college. So my biggest problem is having to pick who is going to travel and who's going to. And it's really important for us to make sure that it isn't just that one weekend. So we do spend a lot of time. And what's great about the lead time as well is that we can look at the universities involved, our local office, look through with the local businesses, and ensure that basically as the US clients move from US to Ireland, it's a seamless transition, and they see the brand and connectivity between the two countries happening seamlessly. So that's the fun that we'll have over the next 15 or 16 months.
I can well imagine. Well, the time is going to be upon us. Hopefully, it'll feel quite quick. The game is about so much more than a game. The Marion Hotel always reported that this weekend of the game was its busiest of the year. Brown Thomas always report that it's outside of Christmas that this is their busiest period of the year as well, because of the sheer value of the volume of travellers that come in this case, from Nebraska and from Chicago. It's going to be a year of preparation. Well done to the team for making sure that they did stick to their guns, and they've brought the College Football Classic back again to Aer Lingus. Incredible job. It's been a really tough time, but they've stuck with it, and it will be here again. August the 27th, 2022. Mark it in your diary now. It's going to be special.
Hello. As Taoiseach, or Prime Minister of Ireland, I very much look forward to welcoming Northwestern University and the University of Nebraska to Ireland next year in 2022. This past year has been a very challenging one for us all. But in Ireland, as in the United States, with our vaccination programme against COVID-19 advancing at pace, we are beginning to see light at the end of what has been a long and difficult tunnel. For the first time in what feels like a very long time, we can begin to look forward with hope and optimism to being able to welcome visitors safely back to our shores. We in Ireland pride ourselves on being the land of the Céad Míle Fáilte, the 100,000 welcomes. I can promise that we will have a very special welcome ready for the teams and your supporters when you visit us for the 2022 US College Football Season Opener as part of the Aer Lingus College Football Classic, to be played on the 27th of August 2022 at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin. So to President Shapiro and Chancellor Green, together with your alumni and fans, I want to tell you that the people of Ireland stand ready to welcome Coach Fitzgerald, Coach Frost, and all the players and staff. It is wonderful to have such an exciting sporting event to look forward to. As a sports fan myself, I know how great contests like yours help lift spirits and strengthen ties between Ireland and the United States. So mark your calendars for August 2022, come to Ireland for the game, and stay to experience the best of our culture, our vibrant cities, towns and villages, our stunning scenery, our world-famous hospitality, and much, much more. So be assured that we are all looking forward to welcoming the Wildcats and the Huskers to a great celebration of sport and deep friendship between our two countries.